Hey everybody, we're back in Nashville's Old City Cemetery. This is like the third weekend in a row, and I'm here for one particular reason, but thought we'd swing by once again and check on General Ewell's headstone that we cleaned. I guess it was 2 weeks ago. That's what I'm talking about. That is nice looking. Let's see if we can open this gate. What a difference that makes. And it'll improve yet even more in the next coming weeks. But that's not exactly why we're here, but also in this cemetery is a monument, a headstone to Robert Baxter. He was an iron master back in the 1830s, 40s in Stewart County, Montgomery County, maybe Dixon County. And I've known for a couple of years that there had to be a tie-in with my family and his, because I had a James Baxter in my tree, and I think James was born in 1784, and Robert Baxter was born in 1786, and I was running across similar names in my research. A couple of nights ago, me and my wife, I just had my phone out, and we were looking for the connection, and I'd had it all along in some articles that I had saved and maybe not read or don't remember reading, but we made the connection. And we're fixing to show you. My I think 4-time great-grandfather, John Mockbee, him and his wife had 6 children, 5 boys and a daughter. The boys all got into the iron furnace work, as was their father. And this was in Montgomery County, Stewart County. And his daughter, Rebecca Boone Mockbee, well, she's the connection. She married Robert Mockbee here. Well, they didn't marry here, but they're still here together. She married Robert Baxter. And it's really amazing. Had I paid more attention, well, I really didn't know, though, that anybody from my family married Robert Baxter. I just knew there was a connection. But this is their headstone. And it's one of the most elaborate in this cemetery, if not the most. Let's see here. I'm going to walk around to the other side. Okay. It's just really hard to see, so let's see here. It is quite faded. And I can make out Baxter. Oh. From here, I can't even make that side out. Let's walk here to the other side. This may be what I'm looking for. right down here, I'm hoping this is showing up, is a depiction of one of the ironworks, and I forget which one this is right offhand. And if this doesn't come out good, we're gonna have to come back when it's earlier in the day. Let's go around one more time over here to this side. Yep, this is it, and it's in the light. All right, but there it is. There it is. Rebecca B. Mockbee, wife of Robert Baxter. Born October 17. I can't quite make it out. I ought to know it. And died August 4th, 1840. He passed away in 1850. But this right here, to my brothers and sisters and myself, is our great, great, great grand aunt. They were doing very well financially up until the Civil War, and that ended all of that. But this was here. They had, like I said, she passed away in 1840. He died in 1850, and they had, I can't remember if they were nephews or what right offhand, but I know Albert Mockbee and Robert T. both joined the Confederate Army in Clarksville with the 14th Tennessee Infantry Regiment. Albert was killed in 1861 at a battle in Virginia. I'm not sure which battle yet. Robert T., he was wounded at least twice and served through the war. Fascinating life story there. When Lee surrendered at Appomattox, Robert Mockbee and another soldier, they didn't surrender. They grabbed a couple of horses and rode south to, I think, into North Carolina, and joined up with another Confederate unit and wound up surrendering with them. You can see that in the light very well. This says Stephen Dupree Watkins and Mary Duran Watkins. I don't know them, so have to do a little looking into some of that. But I knew there was a connection with this Robert Baxter, and a couple of nights ago we figured it out. We'll go zoom in a little bit on some of this. You see the Star of David up there. I'm not sure what that is at the very top. Maybe somebody knows. It looks a little spooky, kinda. But the Mockbees, the tie-in for our family, would be our daddy's mother's people. Her mother was a Mockbee. Mama Hodge's mother was Virginia Mockbee. I remember for years I couldn't figure out, I couldn't find her in the censuses or anything, but it was because the census taker made the M in Mockbee look just like an H, and you know, I remember talking to my grandmother, we called her Mama Hodge. In '93 I went to talk to her about looking up my roots, and I've said this before. She told me, you know, you might find some bad apples, and she told me that her grandfather used to hide the during the Civil War, he would hide the children in the briar patch from the Yankees. So, you know, knowing what I know now about the Mockbees and the Baxters, there's no doubt that side of my family was certainly Southern sympathizers, to say the least. But we had them on both sides in that war. But that's the connection in Old City Cemetery here to Robert Baxter. One of the most prominent monuments in this cemetery, probably the most, or just about, has our great-great-great-grand aunt. I was tempted to say, and now you know the rest of the story, but I'm not going to steal that line. But that's all we got for now, so we'll catch you later.